And he's got a favorite song.
Oh, yeah.
Danny, won't you tell the story behind it before you do it? Give us a little.
I recorded this quite a few years ago. Wasn't going to. I was raised sure enough in a place called Booger Holler, Arkansas. Now you can giggle if you want to, but it ain't the kind of booger you're thinking about. See, where I come from, a booger is one of them things that follows you to the outhouse at night when you're about 4 years old. Ain't no booger man, because we ain't never seen one. We don't see how anybody could call it a booger man, because you ain't never seen it. Might be worse than that. Could be a booger woman. Anyway, I was raised way down deep in the holler, about 100 miles south of here. There's 4 of us boys that always hung out together from all the farms and everything. We'd go up and down dirt roads, and we'd borrow people's horses, and you know. Well, we'd bring them back, my dog. We'd go fishing, camping, and all that, you know, the hillbilly stuff, you know, hunting and all of that. There was one of the boys that was the youngest of us, of course, just by a few months, but his name was Andy. And Andy was kind of a strange fella. He's the kind of kid that would, during the camping trip, just lay out under the stars all night long. Never would sleep. He was afraid he'd miss something, you know. So he'd find a star on one side of the horizon, and then he'd follow it all night long. He'd keep track of it until the sun come up the next morning. And that just fascinated him. He just loved stuff like that. So look what God done. You know, made all them things. And so one day we were going fishing, and he was all excited because it was Sunday afternoon. He said, "You know what I figured out this morning?" I said, "What?" He said, "Figured out where God's at." We said, "Duh. He's in heaven, ain't he?" He said, No, that ain't right." So he said, "This morning we studied about Moses and the burning bush. Moses went up on the mountain and said, 'God, I've done all this stuff for you. Come down here. I want to talk, buddy. Because these people are just a bunch of stupid heads, and we got to get it straightened out.' So God said, 'No, I'm sorry. Your flesh is sin.' And said, 'If I come down there, your flesh is just like that.' And so what he done is just said, I'll just take enough of my glory and put it in that bush, and you can talk to the bush. Well, the bush caught fire even, see? So the bush must have had a little sin in it too. He said, 'I figured out where God's at.' I said, 'Where at?' He said, 'Behind the sun.' I said, 'That's why the sun's so hot. God's peeking right behind it.' I said, 'That's why the thing's so hot.' And said, next time when he wants to purify the earth again with fire, like he said, all he's got to do is peek around the corner of the sun. There we go. And we thought, boy, this kid, you know. So we just dubbed him as the strange one, kind of like Ezra, you know. Here we are, 17, out of school, and all of a sudden our government comes and asks us to come and help our uncle. I didn't even know I had an Uncle Sam, but they said I did. And he needed help, so we all run to help him. Here we are in Little Rock, Arkansas, big city, and they're fixing to haul us all off in 4 different directions. And so Andy come and hugged my neck. He said, "Dan, if I don't make it, would you please write me a song and sing it for me before they put me in the ground?" I said, "You got her, buddy." Well, nothing happened for 10 years. We all got back, got married, had kids scattered all over the country. So one night I get a call from his father. I was over in Oklahoma. He said, "Dan, I'm calling in your promise." I said, "What promise?" He said, "You forgot, didn't you?" I said, "What?" He said, "Andy was killed last night in a motorcycle accident." And he said, "I'm the only one that knows about your promise." He made me promise that I'd call you in. So this song came to me from the Lord on the way that night. And I sang it for his wife and 2 little girls. There's a place behind the sun where God has made a place for everyone, where all the hurt and all the pain will go away and never come again. But when I go, please don't cry, for I couldn't bear the ache you feel inside. You see, I'll be there in your heart right from the start. I'll be keeping our love light alive. And there's a place behind the sun where the kids are always having lots of fun, and where the love is never gone, and it seems the happiness goes on and on. But when I go, don't let them cry, for I couldn't bear the ache they feel inside. You see, I'll be there in their hearts right from the start. I'll be keeping our love light alive. So when I'm gone and you think you'll never make it through the pain, and the memory of our love comes down like rain, just close your eyes and look behind the sun. You see, I'll be there in your heart right from the start. I'll be keeping our love